This program is brought to you by the Genesis Communications Network, a world leader in talk radio since 1998. Visit GCNlive.com today.
Broadcasting live from the Valley of the Sun, Phoenix, Arizona, in the heart of the great American Southwest, it's Erskine Overnight. Now, here's Erskine.
Alan Korwin owns and operates Bloomfield Press and www.gunlaws.com. He's the largest publisher and distributor of gun law information in America. Alan Korwin's author of 6 books, co-author of 8 others. His first book, The Arizona Gun Owner's Guide, he self-published, and now it's in its 26th edition. His book, Supreme Court Gun Cases, The Heller Case, and After You Shoot, have motivated changes in gun laws by several state legislatures. He's made a difference. We're going to give out all the information, the 800 number, and talk about a free color catalog that you're going to want. Alan, welcome to Erskine Overnight.
Great to be with you, Erskine.
You've got a lot going on. Now, with the new president, it seems like that President Obama did more for gun sales than anybody else in the country has ever done. October, the number of registrations for guns, people buying guns, was up 350,000 over the October before. That was an increase of 350,000 over the year before. People were thinking Hillary was going to win. They were worried. They were scared. And what's happened is those who should have guns, the elderly, the people in poor neighborhoods, women, they're the ones who should have guns, and they're making it toughest on them, aren't they?
They sure are. And while Obama was a great gun salesman, he was really bad and hurt us in the culture of marksmanship, in the mentality part of this. He convinced people that guns are bad, guns are evil, guns are dangerous, and that hurt us mentally, and he was a pessimist. Now we have an optimist in power, and I think we're going to turn that around. We might even get marksmanship training back into the schools.
Well, you know, I've learned to be a marksman by taking the courses in Boy Scouts. You probably did the same thing back when you were a kid.
Yep,
you learned how to do that. Right.
Sure did. And we want to see that continue, almost more important than gun sales, because at this point so many people own guns, and there's always room for new gun owners. But we want people to, in a very organic sort of way, to just feel guns are normal. And if you run into somebody who doesn't have a firearm, you sort of look at them askance and ask, you mean you really don't have a gun? Are you sure? It's like, are you disabled or something? Do you want to borrow my backup gun?
Do you want to put a sign on your house saying, no guns in this house? Yeah, okay, that's just an invitation, isn't it? Nobody's doing that. Come on.
And we're working on the whole problem of gun-free zones, which is what you bring up here, Erskine. The left is so terrified of guns that they figure if they put up a sign that says no guns allowed, that they'll be safe. So we have a mock-up of that. It says, in this building, you're protected by this sign. And it's ludicrous. It's absolutely ludicrous. Anybody with any common sense understands that putting up a sign that says no guns allowed is an invitation to criminals, is a denial of civil rights, which is a felony in most cases, and we'll be working on these things legislatively as the year goes by.
I could just shoot 2 examples that come off the top of my head. One was the example of the shooter over there in Colorado who walked by, I don't know how many, 3 or 4 different theaters that allowed guns to get to one that said we're a gun-free zone. And the other one is what happened down at Luby's, that poor lady who was a marksman who left her gun in her glove compartment only to go into Luby's restaurant down in Texas and watch her father get shot.
That was
because she had to have it in her glove compartment, right?
Right. That was Susanna Gracia Hupp back in 1992, and she wrote a book, From Luby's to the Legislature. It motivated her to get involved in politics, which she did. She's a grandmother now, and she says if she could trade time in jail for a chance to have her parents see her grandkids, she would do it in a heartbeat. She wishes she had carried her gun past that sign, and that sign cost the lives of 23 people. We're actually working on a bill in Arizona where you can create a gun-free zone if you want, but you're liable for any harm it causes. Because these people, these liberals who are mentally disturbed, think that they can just say, you're not allowed here, like no blacks at the lunch counter, and we'll take away your civil rights because we can, and then they put you in danger, and if you're harmed, they go, tough luck. Well, that's got to stop.
What's the leading gun-free zone in America? It's called Chicago, Illinois. What's their statistics look like this year?
Well, let me correct something there, Erskine. Nothing personal, but I hear the news media doing this all the time, and it's a common mistake because we get brainwashed by the redundancy. There's no problem in Chicago. How does that strike you?
Well, it's ludicrous. Of course, there's a major problem.
No, there isn't. There's a problem in the ghettos in Chicago. Big difference.
Right.
We keep hearing about 6,000 black murders a year. But we don't hear about 6,000 black murder trials a year. There are no trials. And there is no problem in Chicago. There's a problem in the south side of Chicago in the ghettos.
Right.
This is a ghetto problem. It's a demographic, geographic, socioeconomic problem that does not affect most of Chicago. We have a map up at gunlaws.com, which is my website. We have a map up that the Chicago Tribune put together to show where the murders are. And here's Chicago, and it's clean. And here's South Chicago, and it's full of buttons, full of dots for where the murders are. So all the murders are taking place in the ghetto, in the black neighborhood, in the depressed, Democrat-voting, demographic area. And then the media says, oh, my God, Chicago's got murders. But Chicago doesn't have murders, and there are no guns on the street. There are guns in the waistbands of murderers and gangs and rapists and horrible people in a few bad neighborhoods. And it's not reflective of Chicago. It's reflective of the police letting it happen. No arrests, no murder trials. I mean, Nancy Grace loves to show murder trials, and we have 6,000 black murders every year. So where are the black murder trials? There aren't any. So how does that play with this whole idea that Black Lives Matter, but there's no murder trials? Why isn't the media asking that question? And now do you see why I say it's not a problem in Chicago?
I understand. If Black Lives Matter, they get the murderers off the streets, wouldn't they?
If Black Lives Mattered, they'd get the murders off the street. They would try them. They would try them for murder. Murder's a very serious crime. Instead, they just let it go on, and the media practically gloats about the numbers. Oh, my God, look at these numbers. We got to take away Erskine's gun. We got to take away Alan's gun. Let me tell you, here in Arizona, where I am, Scottsdale is bristling with guns. Nobody shoots anybody.
Right.
In South Phoenix, you really don't want to go down there at night. So it's not really about the guns. We have as many guns in this part of town as that part of town. But in that part of town, you don't want to go down there. And in this part of town, everybody's got a gun. What's the big deal?
Of course, we all do here, and you can have concealed carry. You don't even have to have requirement. I do think that one of the things that I'm seeing, and you're pushing for, is better gun training. People need to have gun training, and I think that's much more significant to have gun training than to have this background check. I'm not sure that background check does any good.
Well, do you think the 6,000 blacks who murdered 6,000 other blacks took a background check?
No.
How about
No, and
that?
I think there were only 73 people who were stopped from getting guns because of black background check.
And were they guilty of anything?
It's nothing. It's not worth it. More when we return with Alan Korwin, and several of his books. After You Shoot would be one to definitely get. The Heller Case, one to definitely get. But you need to know the laws, and we'll talk about that when we return.
We'll be launching those missiles in about 2 minutes, so don't...
Springtime is save big time at Herbal Healer Academy. Long-term customers know spring is the time to stock up at herbalhealer.com. And for new customers, welcome to the web's best place to save on vitamins, minerals, and more. Log on for spring specials, including our 500 parts per million colloidal silver, all sizes on sale. Choose from Herbal Healer's great variety of weight loss products like apple cider vinegar, Hoodia and Metabolic Complex, and Pro Metabolic, all on sale now. Also, the Anti-Parasite Intestinal Freedom and Warwood Plus Complex, plus Stevia Liquid Sweetener and the Super Enzymes, all on sale for spring at herbalhealer.com. As always, we offer certificate correspondence courses in natural medicine. Enjoy same-day shipping and free online newsletter. Log on now to herbalhealer.com and click on Spring Specials to save big with our nation's leader in supplying quality natural medicine and education since 1988, Herbal Healer Academy.
Hi, this is Ted Anderson. I'm here to tell you about GCNtelecare.com, a team of board-certified doctors assisting you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Within 15 minutes of registration, care your family can afford. Revolutionizing the healthcare industry, virtual consulting providing diagnosis of non-emergency medical issues by phone or secure video on computer or smart mobile devices. GCNtelecare.com. Virtual care anywhere.
Good day, America. Are you tired of your butt cheeks being frozen? Tired of cold hands or cold feet? I'm tired of the cold. Well, there's a new kid on the block. It's Fortress Clothing. Fortress will keep you warm. Fortress does what no other clothing company has ever done. We keep you warm in the cold, even when wet. You heard that right, even when wet. No BS, no gimmicks. Work, play, sweat in the cold, and stay warm. So quit your complaining and go to FortressClothing.com. FortressClothing.com, enter coupon code AMERICA and get 20% off any item. Mittens, jackets, pants, balaclavas, or hot socks. FortressClothing.com, enter coupon code AMERICA. You're going to love being warm all winter long. FortressClothing.com.
We're all looking for safe, effective, and all-natural remedies for ourselves and our family. The solution is Simplex. Simplex oils provide natural anti-inflammatory and pain relief, antioxidant and nerve protection, and is an amazing topical acne removal and skincare supplement. Natural healing at a very affordable price. Find out more about our non-psychoactive CBD oil products. Go to SimplexSpecials.com. That's SimplexSpecials.com.
Don't become dependent on the medical system. Get and stay healthy naturally with Extendivite. Metals in the liver cause peroxides to get dumped into the bloodstream. Peroxides do more damage than free radicals to the arteries, and the LDL has no protection from peroxides, causing the LDL to get stuck in the arteries, creating a potential blockage. Extendivite slowly chelates the metals away from the liver so it can dispose of what was meant to be a harmless process, peroxide. Extendivite's 7 herbs has a job to strengthen the organs and circulatory highway. Can you afford a heart attack? Extendivite is available in capsule or liquid form for just $69.95 for a 2-month supply. To get started, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822. Or visit heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Here at the retirement home, we always listen to Erskine overnight. It's all we got to listen to.
Now, Alan Korwin has books out on a number of different states, the gun laws, and they're all very good. The problem that I see, you've got Arizona, you've got California, Florida, Texas, Virginia, and so if you're in any of those states, you can get the gun laws on those states. The problem is every state has different gun laws. We need to have uniform gun laws because if you're going to a gun show, and this has happened to people I knew in Ohio, you're going to a gun show, you're coming over there from Kentucky or you're going from Indiana, they've got different gun laws. You can leave a shooting range. If you don't have your gun packed exactly the way the state tells you, you can be arrested, they can take your gun, and you lose all rights to ever use a gun again. What happens if you lose your rights on that, Alan? Do you ever get them back?
Well, you've asked 3 or 4 questions there, Erskine. Let me start out with everybody does, because it's so confusing, and I've spent my career developing gunlaws.com and those rules and those books. Let me start with your first suggestion that we have uniform gun laws. So would you want everybody to have the gun laws they have in New Jersey or California? I think
I'll go with Arizona, Alan. I'll go with Arizona.
Arizona's been rated 3 years in a row as having the best gun laws in America. But I don't think New Jersey wants to have ours, and I know we don't want to have New Jersey's. This is why federalism is important, and this is why the Electoral College is important, because the states, the grand experiment is that the states are a laboratory for different laws and running things a different way. And if you don't want to have a gun and you want to be restrictive, you live in New Jersey or California, and if you want freedom, you live in Arizona. And California and New Jersey have enormous problems with crime and gun-related crime, and Arizona doesn't have such a big problem. It's isolated, and the rest of us are doing fine.
No, we got drivers who drive the wrong way on the freeway. We don't have the problem with guns that much.
We have all have different problems, and we're looking for different ways to solve them. The real issue with that you brought up is that the Constitution says your right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed, and the usurpers in government who are taking away your rights belong in prison, and nobody's doing anything about that. So when New Jersey says you can't have a gun, or California says if you have a magazine that will hold more than 10 rounds, you go to jail, the people who passed that, they belong in jail because they're infringing your right to keep and bear arms. That's the way to get to better gun laws, if not uniform. And in order to find out what the laws are all over the place, we have a book, the 50-State Traveler's Guide, the 50-State Knife Guide, the self-defense laws in all 50 states. So you can find out what the rules are in Iowa or Illinois or Texas or Wyoming or wherever you are. And we have books on individual states. So whichever state you're in, you can find out, like a responsible citizen, what are the gun laws for where I live in my state. And I recommend
if you're a trucker driving across the country, you're probably going to have a gun with you. And you could get in trouble depending on where you cross the state line, can't you?
That's true, and that's why the Traveler's Guide to the Gun Laws of the 50 States is popular with people in recreational vehicles, in trucks, people who are just driving from here to Grandma's house in Maine to know what each state allows, and some require the gun out of sight or in sight or loaded or not loaded, or you can't have this kind of gun or that kind of gun. All of those are infringements. And we're working on a law here in Arizona, the infringement law, to ban infringement. And infringement is making a legal gun illegal. We're going to define that by statute if we can get it through, and we'll be working on that this year. I was talking to people about that today. We put out news about that on gunlaws.com where people can sign up and find out what's happening with the gun laws around the country.
What happens to a poor person who gets nailed on one of these gun laws in a state like Virginia or New Jersey or something like that? And once you get nailed, then it goes onto your FBI record. You can't have a gun anymore. What can you do to get around that or get over it or through it?
Well, you don't want to fall into the legal system in this country in any way, shape, or form, guns or otherwise. And if you have a felony on your record, your rights are denied for the rest of your life most of the time. And this is a very serious situation, and even the ACLU wants to see that changed. But they want to see that changed because they know so many Democrat voters, black Democrat voters, are felons, whether that's just or not. They'd like to see them reestablished so that they get all those votes. But in terms of losing your rights, either for a gun violation or stealing a car when you were a kid, or drugs, or a white-collar crime, you lose your right to vote, to hold many types of occupation, to work in child care. You just lose your rights with a felony. And I don't know if that's fair or not, and there's plenty of people working on reestablishment of rights. I do have a lawyer who works specifically on reestablishing rights. We used to have a book on that. It went out of print, but how to get your rights back. There is a process in federal law for reestablishing your rights. Most states have a way to do it. You can Google it. You can find a lawyer to get you through it. And it's complicated, Erskine. If a guy committed some kind of crime, a bad crime years ago, do you want him to be able to buy guns again?
Well, if it's years ago, he's been clean ever since. It seems like there comes a time when you've paid your penalty.
I hear you. So how long is it, and who decides?
Right. Now, one of the things that you've written about, and this is another topic which is very important, is a book that you've written called After You Shoot. That's a very critical book to talk about, because what happens after you have to shoot somebody, if you do have to shoot somebody, what do you do then? And that book tells you what you do, because you've got to know. This is something that ought to be required of anybody before they buy a gun, to have that book.
When people buy a book on the state gun laws, if they speak to me, I always tell them you should consider that. The subtitle is, Your Gun's Hot, the Perp's Not, Now What?
Right.
It took me, that was my 12th book, After You Shoot. And I had so many lawyers tell me, don't say anything. STFU. Think about that. Maybe you'll figure it out. STFU. Right. Don't say anything. And yet then they would say, just say this. Well, which is it? I feared for my life. I didn't mean to do it. I had to shoot him. They have all kinds of statements, but they also say don't say anything. And the Miranda warning says anything you say can and will be used against you. And cynical lawyers say anything you say will be lied about and used against you. So I spoke with 70 different experts, judges,
Miranda
lawyers.
Also came out of Arizona, too, right?
Yes, Miranda was an Arizona case with a criminal involved. Right. I spoke with judges, lawyers, prosecutors, police officers in coming up with 5 separate strategies on what to do after a shooting so you don't end up in more trouble than the crook. And I put them all in that book. Now, there's a lot of different opinions, and there's no perfect answer, but we have them in there, including a bill that will fix the problem, which we can talk about perhaps on the other side of the break.
We will. Thank you. We'll be right back. And the website is very easy to get to, gunlaws.com.
Erskine's gone to see a man about a mule, but he'll be right back.
All right, guys, we're ready for our four-season sunroom, and Daddy's going to get a rec room with refreshments.
Oh, no. We'll be sleeping under the stars.
Mom, what about the one with, the fun?
Nice try, little bro. It's a gym. My gym.
Hey, Grandma's getting her Four Seasons garden room. Weather tight and still like being outdoors. Maybe a living room. Oh, no, wait. A family hub.
Yeah!
No matter what the budget, the season, or the climate, Four Seasons Sunrooms let you and your family enjoy the outdoors inside. Call now to hear more about these great offers from the premier manufacturer of sunrooms since 1975.
More reasons for Four Seasons now.
To find out more, call toll-free 800-848-6333. That's 800-848-6333.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, the inventor of MyPillow, and like all of you out there, I had problems sleeping. Pillows would go flat, I would flip-flop all night long, I would wake up with a sore neck, maybe a headache, or feel like I needed a nap even though I slept 8 hours. When I invented MyPillow, I wanted it to where you could move the patented fill to give you the exact support you need as an individual, regardless of sleep position. MyPillow will get you into that deep REM sleep faster, and you will stay there longer. It's not about how much time we spend in bed, it's about how much of that quality sleep we get. I do all of my own manufacturing right here in the United States. I have a 10-year warranty. You can wash and dry my pillow, and I give you a 60-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. And here's my best offer ever. You can buy one of my pillows and get one absolutely free.
Go to mypillow.com or call 800-870-0305 and use promo code GCN. That's mypillow.com or 800-870-0305 with promo code GCN.
The following statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Something shocking just happened in a Coast Guard unit in San Diego. The old guys in the unit have turned the tables and are now destroying the young bucks in head-to-head fitness tests. How is this even possible? Turns out the old guys in this unit have been part of a special test group for a doctor-formulated Fountain of Youth drink called Patriot Power Greens. Patriot Power Greens has been so effective for many of the older soldiers that it's made their achy joints, stiff muscles, and lack of energy a thing of the past. Previously, this drink was only available to elite military units. But for a limited time, the creator of Patriot Power Greens has set aside a small number of free samples specifically for our conservative friends. All they ask is that you chip in a few bucks to cover shipping. To claim your free samples of Patriot Power Greens, go to greens75.com. That's greens75.com. Greens75.com.
So why don't you just kick back and let's listen to Erskine overnight while I puff on my favorite stogie. Hey now, I wouldn't lie to you.
Go up to Alan's website, gunlaws.com. You find one of the books that you want, like After You Shoot, the Hiller case, or gun laws in your particular area. And let me give you the number, 800-707-4020. 800-707-4020. And ask him, he'll give you the free full-color catalog. They'll give you all the books that he publishes. And this is what everyone, before you take a course in gun safety, read these books. Understand that it's a responsibility. It's a right and it's a responsibility for every American. If you're going to have a gun, you ought to know how to use it, and you ought to know the laws concerning it. Those are the two things that you should know. Anybody can buy a gun and say, yeah, I've got a gun, and never shoot it, never know anything about it. Well, that's really just stupid. That's a recipe to get yourself in trouble, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Sure is.
Now,
it sure
ahead.
is. And it wouldn't be the first time that happened. I started saying before the break, there's a bill that we drafted with the help of our county attorney called the 911 Limited Immunity Law. And what this does, if you talk into 911 recorder, when you call 911, it's recorded, and everything you say will be used against you. Right after shooting, your blood pressure's up, your adrenaline's flowing.
Oh, yeah.
Your ability to say something in chronological order is weak. If you say anything twice, it comes out different, and then the police don't know which one's true. You need protection when you make that 911 call, and we have a bill that says if you make a good faith call to 911 to seek medical or police assistance, that can't be used against you in a court of law unless your lawyer wants to introduce it. And it can't be released to the media unless it's used in open trial. That way the media can't use your 911 call, your frantic 911 call, and advertise it on the air and try you in the media, which is just not right. And they can't use your frustrated, what do they call it, your exasperated statements. There's a phrase for it that escapes me now. They can't use that against you. But you should be encouraged to call 911, not afraid to, because you might say the wrong thing. And one of the options would be to call your lawyer, tell your lawyer what happened, and have your lawyer call 911. But you lose some time in doing that.
Nobody thinks to do that.
You're right.
You really don't. You're panicked at that time. Somebody breaks in, you end up shooting somebody, you're panicked.
But is that the time to make a statement to the police? Of course not. Well, what do the police do? They don't make a statement. They do call their lawyers. They call internal affairs. They call their fellow officers. They're removed from all contact, and they make a statement in writing so they can't screw up days and days later after they're on administrative leave with pay.
What's the first thing the cops say when they arrive? What happened here?
And the answer should be, please speak to my attorney. I need a glass of water. So you don't make statements that are going to hurt you. It's okay. You can trust me. Go ahead. Tell me what happened. Now, there is an argument to be made to say I was in fear for my life. I'm all upset right now. I don't have anything else to say until I speak to my lawyer. And to make a statement that you were scared to death, you were afraid for your life, but you don't want to say things like, he was going to kill me. which seems right, especially if the guy fired at you first, because, so what are you, a mind reader? You knew he was going to kill you? How did you know that?
Right.
And the prosecutor will tear you apart. Anything you say will be used against you. So you don't want to make any statements. All the statements can be made later. And if you've done it right and you read that book after you shoot, it says if you've got a box of ammo and a gun, well, Jesus, you need a lawyer, like now, not later. Well, how do I get a lawyer? Well, there's a chapter on how to get a lawyer. Well, how do I know if he's a good lawyer? Well, there are some questions you can ask him. And if you're really smart, you set up a meeting and you go down with two friends. So the lawyer sees three potential clients, and you can all take notes. And if he charges you for the initial meeting, which he really shouldn't, but if he does, you can split the bill three ways, and it's not so expensive. And then if you want to treat your lawyer right, aren't these good ideas? It took me 20 years to figure this out.
Absolutely. Now, let me ask you about another book that you wrote, The Heller Case. We've heard a lot about that. And what does that basically come down to? Because that asserts that we do have a right to bear arms. That's exactly what it asserts, isn't it? Well, this is also like saying Chicago has a gun problem when it's really the ghettos in Chicago have a problem and the rest of Chicago's fine. Right. I wrote a book called Supreme Court Gun Cases, which had 92 gun cases the Supreme Court had heard. And that book landed you on the cover of magazine, too, didn't it? Yes. One of the NRA's magazine had me and my two co-authors on the cover. There were 92 gun-related cases that the Supreme Court had decided, and they were all consistent with an individual right to keep and bear arms. There was no question that you had this right. But the media and now the popular thinking is, oh, the Heller case gave you this right. The Heller case made it clear. There was no question that you had this right prior to Heller. But officially, the Heller case said the right to keep and bear arms is an individual right that people have, and we needed that decision because left-wing progressive bigots had cooked up and invented this argument that the right to keep and bear arms was a collective right. Nobody had this right. We all had it collectively, which really meant nobody had it. And the Heller case made it clear with great historical footnotes and research that the right to keep and bear arms was as individual as the right to speak, the right to publish, the right to practice religion, and the Heller case makes that point. I was an invited guest at the Supreme Court to witness the oral arguments. I reported on it. In fact, that whole report and lots of photos are posted at gunlaws.com for anybody who wants to know more about that case. And the Heller case has the entire decision with quotations from it, about 400 quotations from it, blown up, explained the entire dissent, and was it 70 or 80 amicus briefs on the pro side and an equal number on the anti side, arguing you do have rights, you don't have rights. So if this is an important topic to you, the Heller case, which is on sale, by the way, describes that case and the other 92 cases about guns that the Supreme Court decided. Now, when you're looking at that, it's very important that we get a Supreme Court that is friendly, isn't it? This is absolutely the most important thing that could have happened. I mean, it's important that we got someone in there who is pro-business, but the most important thing is that we have someone who is friendly on gun rights and on our rights as Americans. That was so significant, wasn't it? Absolutely. And while we were a little concerned that Mr. Trump was very proud of his permit to carry in New York, the last thing we wanted was a national permit, and a law was introduced today to give permit holders and constitutional carry people rights across state lines, and we can pick that one up after the break. Rights across state lines. I think that's what I'm looking at. I think that's a very good idea. We'll talk about that with Mr. Alan Korwin.
don't go postal. Erskine will be right back.
Is there a stock market bubble in the making? You need an early warning system for your investments because you work too hard to be surprised by your money. Now, guarding your wealth has never been easier. Introducing WealthGuard from OnTheMarkMoney.com, an early warning system that tracks all your accounts. WealthGuard lets you know in advance if your accounts are dropping. It works for all accounts, whether you work with us or not. Get WealthGuard today, 100% free. Go to OnTheMarkMoney.com. That's OnTheMarkMoney.com.
Attention small business owners. Want to save money on your employee health insurance plan? Learn the little-known solution that could save thousands of dollars on your health insurance benefits and save your employees money, too. Call Health Markets for a free consultation, and one of our 3,000 local agents will show you how to make healthcare reform work for you. We'll design customized solutions for your business that can lower healthcare costs for you and your employees. We'll work directly with you to determine your needs. Research thousands of health plans from over 180 health insurance companies nationwide. You'll also find out if tax credits could save you money. Best of all, the service is free of charge. See why Health Markets has enrolled Americans in more than 2 million insurance policies. You don't have to wait for open enrollment to lower your cost. Call now. Find out how much you and your employees could be saving.
Representatives are standing by to assist you. Call 800-930-5137. That's 800-930-5137. 800-930-5137.
Did you know your car can be hacked just like your computer or phone? Hackers can hijack the signal of your own key fob to burglarize your vehicle in seconds. The Black Hole Faraday key fob bag is a signal impenetrable shield that stops these hacks in their tracks. Protect one of your most valuable assets. Go to hackproofbag.com. That's hackproofbag.com and use promo code RADIO to get 20% off. Or call 805-222-4584. 805-222-4584.
Dangerous blood clot device alert. If you or a loved one had an IBC filter placed to prevent blood clots from traveling to your heart or lungs and suffered an injury, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. The FDA warns that IBC filters may cause serious complications, such as heart or lung damage, internal bleeding, and even death. These dangerous blood clot devices can break, and the metal fragments can travel to your heart or lungs, causing serious injuries. If you or a loved one suffered organ damage or other injuries from an IBC filter, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Act now. Time is limited to file a claim. For a free consultation and free information, call Injury Help Desk at 800-478-1507. 800-478-1507. 800-478-1507. This is an advertisement. Paid non-attorney spokesperson. InjuryHelpDesk.com is responsible for this advertisement. Principal office, Las Vegas.
Now that you don't have to kick Dick around anymore, you're probably like all the rest. You listen to Erskine overnight, don't you?
Rights across state lines. If you've got a right to carry in one state, is it good in another state? And that type of thing. And like the lady, the poor black lady who went into New Jersey, ended up serving time in jail because she had a gun when she went into New Jersey. And it took the governor to pardon her after she had served so much time. I mean, it's just not right what they're doing to people on that. Any of us who go across the state line can be arrested, have all sorts of things happen. Is that what they're talking about?
That is. And let me just mention, I love your bumper music and those clever little phrases you have at the breaks, Erskine. Those are really cute. Nixon. That was great. Yes, her name escapes me now, but I was involved in that problem where New Jersey, with such repressive anti-rights laws, went
ridiculous.
after a mother, a healthcare worker, and she had her firearm in her purse, and out of good-natured, law-abiding energy, she informed the police officer, by the way, officer, I have a firearm and my permit in my purse. And for that, she got busted and went through all kinds of agony. She got one of the best lawyers in the country, Evan Knappen, who was a New Jersey resident at the time. He's in New Hampshire now. Evan worked with the governor and the NRA and the forces there are and the great New Jersey State Rifle Association. And eventually she got off. But that was just a travesty of justice. You know, a firearm is private property. And ownership of private property should not be anything more than owning a book. It's property. You own it. There's no victim. There's no crime. Nobody's harmed. It's simply yours. You have to do something bad to get in trouble with the police. At least that's the way it's supposed to be in America. Well, a bill was introduced today, the first day of the new legislature. It's H.R. 38 and was introduced by, let me see, I've got it here somewhere, Richard Hudson, a representative in North Carolina. It's about 6 pages long. I've got it on my desk. I don't take much time. I want to get this up at gunlaws.com so people can read it. But basically it says if you've got a permit and you have the permit and ID with you, you can't be arrested for carrying a firearm anywhere in America, and you have to carry it under the laws of the state you're in. But what's special about this bill is that if you're in a state like Arizona or 11 others where we have constitutional carry, which means you can carry a firearm openly or discreetly without papers, without any government interference,
right,
then you can carry that way in another state.
Right.
Now, I don't know how well that will fly in a place like New Jersey or even in a place like Texas, which really wants you to have a Texas permit. But I'm in Arizona where I'm a free citizen, and I can take a firearm, my wife can take a firearm, put it in a bag, carry it wherever we're going, and like I said a moment ago, nobody's harmed, there's no victim, everything's fine, and I should be able to go across state lines, and that's been banned for decades. Decades. If you did that, you become a criminal, you're in all sorts of trouble. The simple possession of private property, H.R. 38 would fix that. The Concealed Carry Reciprocity Act of 2017, introduced by Richard Hudson with 58 co-sponsors. Now, Congress has a lot to do, and the Democrats, the main anti-gun rights activists, the entire party, an entire political party is against your right to keep and bear arms. They will fight it tooth and nail. They'll do everything they can to water it down or just kill it. But the rest of the country, the part that defeated the criminal woman who was trying to get into office, we like this kind of bill, and with a little luck we'll pass it. The facts are pretty clear. When concealed carry comes into effect anywhere, crime goes down. And we don't even like to call it concealed carry here in Arizona. We call it discreet carry, because concealed sounds like you're hiding something or doing something wrong. And so we carry discreetly because it's the civilized norm. The law calls it a concealed carry permit, but we think of it as discreet carry, and you don't need a permit here anymore. You can just carry your property wherever you go, and we're trying to eliminate some of the gun-free zones and places that literally say no blacks at the water fountain. Now they're saying no black guns at the water fountain, and we're trying to get rid of that abuse and civil rights denial.
Well, the other thing is that I've noticed, and you've noticed the same thing, more and more women are getting involved with guns. You've got clubs that are forming, like here in Arizona. You want to go to Shooter's World on Friday, women can shoot for free. There are other places where women are forming clubs and shooting at free or discounts. And this is a great equalizer. You talk about your women's rights. You had somebody running for president who talked about women's rights, and she's for women, but she wasn't for women having guns. Guns was the great equalizer for women. It's a great equalizer if you're living in a ghetto and you want to do what's right. You want to stand up for yourself. It's a great equalizer for older people who can't run like we used to. Guns are a great equalizer for that. Not that you want to use them. You don't. But it is a absolutely great equalizer and gives you a sense of security. They've got handbags that you can put the gun in. All of these sort of things. Women are the basis of what's going to turn it around, with more and more women beginning to enjoy shooting and enjoy marksmanship and learning about guns. More when we return with Alan Korwin.
Now, don't go getting your pantyhose in a bunch. Erskine will be right.
It's not news that people's health is declining each year. With fast food, junk food, GMOs, artificial flavoring, and more, it's obvious why our health is deteriorating. We're not supplying our body with the nutrients it needs as we should. What if I told you about a supplement that can improve your overall health simply by taking 1 teaspoon with each meal daily? And it's not a new concept. Would you take it? Dr. Reg McDaniel presents New Eden, a new formulation for nutritional support. This mixture of micronutrients returns to the modern diet vital nutrients once found in the family garden and orchard in a more agrarian society. Simply put, New Eden is a modern application of ancient nutritional traditions and knowledge of nature. The new generation global dietary supplement New Eden is now on sale. Go to wellnessquest.org or call 888-923-2664. 888-923-2664 or wellnessquest.org today for your tub of New Eden. 888-923-2664.
This is Ben Gordon, and if your teeth are stained from coffee, tea, or smoking, Power Swabs is the answer. In 5 minutes, you'll see 2 shades whiter teeth, and in 7 days, 6 shades. There's no messy strips or trays that you have to leave in your mouth for an hour. Just swab your teeth for 5 minutes, and you're done. To try Power Swabs, call 1-800-290-8480. Your bright white smile will have your friends talking about how great you look. Try it risk-free. 1-800-290-8480. That's 1-800-290-8480.
The following is an incredible, life-changing free offer for anyone with hearing problems who wants to start hearing more clearly again. We're now offering free in-home trials of a revolutionary hearing breakthrough called Listen Clear to anyone who calls this special toll-free number now, 1-800-719-4926. Call now and you'll also qualify for free shipping. Listen Clear is precisely designed by top audio engineers. It adjusts to let you find the perfect way to hear things crisply and clearly, wherever you are and whatever you're doing. And Listen Clear is so small and discreet, people usually don't even notice you're wearing it. And it's so lightweight, you may even forget you're wearing it too. Don't miss this special life-changing opportunity to hear things more clearly again for free, with a 100% free in-home trial and free shipping. If you like it, you could even get free batteries for life. For free information, call now. 1-800-719-4926. That's 1-800-719-4926. 1-800-719-4926.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states. Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
Here at the retirement home, we always listen to Erskine overnight. It's all we got to listen to.
I remember watching an episode of The Closer, which is a good show. It's starring Keira Sedgwick. And in one episode, she reached into her handbag. Her gun was in there, fired right through the handbag, and she lived because of it. And then after she retired, they gave her a new handbag, which I thought was very nice. But the fact of the matter is, women are really coming on, and they're making a difference in this battle, aren't they?
They certainly are. We have Annie Oakley night where women shoot free up at the Ben Avery range. A lot of the other ranges do it.
Oh, when is that?
Annie Oakley night, I think, is Thursdays. Don't hold me to that, but you can get in touch with the ranges and ask them if they have
I'll
it.
have to call up Ben Avery and find out about that. Annie Oakley night. That's great.
Wait a minute. Isn't this reverse discrimination? How come I don't get a free night at the range? What is this? This isn't fair. The women are, what's the opposite of misogynist? But
I know, but come on. I think it's great that they're getting involved.
I guess I can live with that, and in fact, women are the fastest growing segment of the market, but there's another segment that's growing very quickly, and this will surprise some people. The liberals are looking into buying guns. After hating guns for so long, they're now afraid that Trump has a Gestapo at the gates and that they're all going to be turned into internment camps, and so they're talking about maybe we should buy guns. So maybe the next big market for Colt and Glock and the rest of them to look at, they should be advertising in Parade and People magazine.
Oh.
Try and reach some of the left, because that's a great untapped market. And when those folks find out, you know, the media thinks they're unbiased. So when was the last time you saw a story in the media that said guns are fun? Anybody who goes to the range knows guns are fun. So when
they really do. They really do. Now, I suggest going up to your website, gunlaws.com. Knowing the laws is absolutely critical that you know the laws. And if you really want to have something fun, you are republishing my friend Aaron Zellman, the late Aaron Zellman's grandpa books, and those were very good. The comic books, those were excellent.
Oh, I didn't know you know Aaron Zellman. I'm working with JPFO. That's Jews for the Preservation of Firearms Ownership.
Wonderful organization. Aaron was indeed a wonderful person. I loved him to death. He worked with Claire Wolfe a lot.
Yep, he sure did. And he takes, and JPFO.org takes a very moral, religious, no-holds-barred look at firearms and why they're important from a political standpoint, and to balance the government forces and tyranny and to stop genocide. And that's very, very important. They're doing good work on that. The Grandpa Jack comic books,
right.
We just released the 9th one, and I was fortunate to be a co-author on that. And I don't want to spoil the surprise, but if you Google Grandpa Jack, you'll see the latest, the 9th edition, and we're talking about others. It's a lot of fun to do those. I didn't realize you knew Aaron. He passed away in 2010, but his organization lives on.
Thank God. He was a wonderful person. Alan, thank you for being on. Thank you for putting out the books. Thank you for carrying the Grandpa Jack series on, because it was so much fun to read. And God bless you, and may you have a wonderful new year this year. 800-707-4020. But it's all at the website, gunlaws.com, or go up to ErskineOvernight.com, because it's all listed there and hyperlinked. Alan Korwin, thank you for being on.
Ladies and gentlemen, Erskine.
Why be held hostage by your wireless carrier for 2 years? What if you had no contract, no activation fees, no hidden costs, tracking, tracing, harvesting customer data, or draconian gimmicks? All on America's largest 4G LTE, GSM, and Sprint networks. Introducing Pix Wireless. Activate your Sprint, AT&T, or unlock GSM phones with Pix, and choose from an arsenal of monthly plans or build your own. Starting at only $2.99 per month. Get connected now. Call or click 1-866-205-9513 or PixWireless.com, spelled PIXWireless.com. Pick Pix and get connected today.
We use cell phones against our heads every day. But now a landmark U.S. government study confirms increased health risks from exposure to EMF radiation emitted from these devices. The time to protect yourself is now. The solution is Defender Shield. Proudly made in the USA, Defender Shield blocks virtually 100% of EMF radiation emitted from cell phones, tablets, and laptops. Buy now at DefenderShield.com. Use discount code DEFENDER for 10% off. DefenderShield.com, the worldwide leader in EMF radiation protection.
Water is the single most important thing your body needs, so you want to be sure it's the best for you and your family. Since 2005, thousands have depended on Berkey purified water. The Berkey Guy provides the lowest priced filtration systems in every size for incredibly delicious water now and in an emergency. Get to GoBerkey.com or call 877-886-3653. 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com.